Oh, sir.
Yeah. Hi, yeah. Here we go. There's not a lot of boogers in my inner fields today. I ain't mad at it. At all. Camera foe. There you go. Camera foe. There you go. Ooh, yeah. Camera foe. There you go. Camera foe. Ooh. Yes. I want my change. MiSuNDERStoOd too. Terrence Taylor, international speaker. Talk too much. International speaking and coaching. Day 19. 9:39 in real life. 9:45 on the board. Ahead of schedule. That's how you start this weekend vibe. Take one. I don't know if this windbreaker jacket's going to be the best for sound, so I'm going to try my best to stay still. But it looks great and it makes me feel good. But yeah, don't wear windbreaker-like materials while recording. Put that on the notes. Oh man, I kind of want to just change it already, but no, it's fine. I'll rock with it. I like it. It looks great. It looks great. Looks great. I'm feeling great. Yo, what up, y'all? I am Terrence Taylor. This is I Want My Change. This is MiSuNDERStoOd too. This is the 19th day, the eve of the second decade. I'm very happy and excited to be here today. Welcome, y'all. Hello, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Oh man, this is just a lovely day. It doesn't help that if you've been listening, you can hear less goopy gops and sick germ energies buzzing throughout me. It feels great. I had a nice little and I scooped out a lot of what was in and now it's out, and it felt like, when you know the germs are there, and it's like that thick, nasty version that's been settling within you, and now it has escaped, and it is no more. And I feel really good. I feel good today. I'm ready to get to talking about an assortment of things. Today on our topics, we have 3 gems. Change design, as previously discussed yesterday, the YouTube channel, and freedom and Ford Broncos. That's what I got for you today. Let's do it. But before we get there, I have one thing on here. Here's a note for myself. I meant to do this earlier and I didn't. There's a task app that I'm using on my Google Workspace, and I usually write the things that I have to do. I have just like a note Google Keep. I just have a list and I just write things, do them, put a little note, X, dash, done, whatever, keep it moving. And I haven't used an official like checkbox mark task keeper tracker. And I found one and I've been using it, and I didn't write down the name of it. And I wanted to tell you about it. And I think the truth of the matter is it doesn't actually matter what the specific app is. It's that there's always a more efficient way to do whatever it is that you're doing. And I found that, and I've been using it over the last few days, and it's been great. I'll bring it back tomorrow and tell you. But yeah, I like seeing the X and the line go through that part of it, there's a bit more visual accomplishment that comes with seeing that makes the soul motivated to do more. So I got my task app. I'm killing that shit. That feels amazing. Next up on the housekeeping list, because we love Camera 4, our favorite camera of all time, the motor that I told you about that operates the slide module has it's malfunctioned. And what I think is going to happen now, because being sick has really annoyed my like momentum, and there's a lot of things I want to do and I just run out of energy and can't do them. So I need to call Edelkrone next week, and what I think is going to happen is I'm going to have to send this motor back, and they're going to have to repair it and send it back to me, which got me to thinking I might need 2 motors for instances like this. This motor has been a bit of a troubleshoot even before this recording began. So maybe it's the motor, maybe having a second one as a backup for these types of instances. I have 2 of these lights. I have 4 of these microphones. Like, I've got enough backup in certain aspects that I'm thinking I might need to invest in a second motor. This is so annoying how often something for $700 just happens to pop up and you need it or you don't need it, but things don't go as they should if you don't. So it's the beauty and the joy of upgrading and continuously spending money on things that you need to improve your production. This camera going back and forth on the slider is pretty essential. It's the whole fucking point of this whole setup. So I do need it, and it wouldn't hurt to have a backup motor. So I think that, unfortunately, but fortunately, that's going to happen next week as well. Last on the list, I talked to yesterday. He was not satisfied that I would receive a product that was not tested and approved by me to have printed. Doesn't know that I printed these hats on Vistaprint. So I think feel a little less worried, but I'm gonna run a test and see how the change with the gold border outline of the words looks on the second test, because also agrees we might need to go woven label, and I'm not against that. I spent some time. Not gonna tell you that yet. Yes, we might have to agrees. That's all for that. Agrees, and that leads us into our topics. So yes, look at me transitioning shit and getting my. Let's go. That's all. That's all for the housekeeping today. Because I want to tell you, I want to tell you about the change design. So yesterday after recording, I emailed, went on about the day, tried to edit the change design, and it was a Friday night. It was a long week. I was sick. I was trying to just keep doing things, and technology was at a certain point going, nah, fuck you, bro. No, you won't. No, you won't. Not today. Not right now. And I just, at a certain point, just closed my laptop and sat on the couch and fired it around. There was like little annoying things that I was trying to do in Photoshop that just for some reason it just wasn't working. It didn't even make sense what was happening. So I took that as a sign of shut it down. So I did. Woke up this morning, 6 a.m. on my own, amped, ready to go. Came downstairs, started working on the design. So the issue with the design has been, well, the initial issue was the letters were too close together. Because the letters are too close together, when you do the embroidery, everything bleeds, and it's like the letter shouldn't be attached. There should be a bit of space between the letters. The way I did the border gave me that extra kind of outline around the letters. So when I take the border away, now the letters are too spaced out. So I had to bring the letters in. I removed the box, and I did a black, a white, and a gold in the change. No outline, no nothing, just text, just right back to the original, but with a bit more spacing. And that's kind of where I've landed, is I feel like I tried to do too much to it. Although simple, the border might have been too much. Although the box around it might have been too much. I do think there's like a subtle something, but maybe not. Maybe the subtlety in the design is all that it needs. The fact that you can, I love this fucking design so much, and it's why I've held on to it for so long. And when I made it, I wanted you to be able to see change from different perspectives, and to understand that regardless where you are, however you see change may be completely different from how somebody else sees change. And depending on where you are and how you're looking at yourself, you're going to see change differently. So you put the hat on. My hair looks so beautiful today, so there's no hat. You look at the logo from the front and it reads backwards. But then you look at it in the mirror and it reads a different way. When change is on the sweater or the hoodie, on the neck or on the chest, you look down at it and it gives you another totally different perspective. So that's why I've kept it. And I think the story within how the letters are configured is enough. That's where I'm at. It's enough. And yeah, I just try to do too much to it, dial it back. Literally the only change I made was give some spacing between the letters, and we'll see what runs as a test. But what I think is going to happen is we're just going to end up going with this basic design, which makes me happy, because yeah, it's a 4-year-old design that has been, it's beautiful. It needs less. So note to self, note to others, creative people, sometimes less is more. Even when you think that less that you're doing is not really that much, like, nah, you just doing too much. You don't need it. It's not necessary, and you're doing too much. So dialed it back, and I feel great about the change design. That was my creative morning today. That was some good flow. That was some good flow to begin the day. So that's where I began this morning. And then that transitioned to the YouTube channel. And I have Patreon and I have YouTube as the primary video platforms that this content is going to be found, be seen, be accessed. YouTube, because it's Google and it's the world's greatest search engine, and there's shorts and there's long form. So I can do everything I need to do and want to do most efficiently through YouTube. I don't want to use Instagram because I don't want to deal with another algorithm of engagement. I don't want to use TikTok for every reason that everyone knows why not to use TikTok. I don't want to spread, it's great, but no, thank you. I don't want to spread my content across an excessive amount of platforms. I know that kind of goes against what you're supposed to do, but the more platforms, the more work, the more you have to understand each platform. And if the goal of all of these platforms is exposure with like a small monetary gain, then why not just learn one of the platforms for exposure and then learn the other platform for monetization? So that's why it's YouTube, and that's why it's Patreon. And Instagram will exist because of the searchability element of it. Because yeah, sure, you need to have an Instagram page, but I don't plan on I'm trying to drive people to spend money. And I want to put the fewest amount of extra things in front of people to get them to spend money. So it's like, here's an Instagram page, just because people will look at search through Instagram, but on that Instagram page is a link to a website that gets you to spending money. I spent so much time using Instagram just to talk shit, tell stories, put out. It's like, no, I'm not on that platform for that reason. And I'm not going to play the Instagram algorithm game for it to get my content where it needs to go. So really, it's a landing page. It needs to exist, but no thank you to playing the game. So LinkedIn is kind of the same in that as a professional, it needs to exist. You got to kind of but no, it's also a landing page. Here's all the work I've done previously, but I'm not. Yeah, so YouTube. See how easily you become distracted with trying to play the game of all of these, and they all do the same thing. Create awareness, exposure, get your content out. None of them as a primary force of driving sales, creating revenue. My ultimate goal is to sell speaking services. It's not to make money off of YouTube clips. Sure, we'll make money off of YouTube clips, but the whole premise of this is to get you to hire me to come and speak and coach, period. So the YouTube page is going to be the driving force for that. And I had to create the channel. So I had to create there's 3 kind of visual things you need. You need the logo that pops up on the YouTube channel. You need the banner. The banner is a bit of a work through. I went through 9 different drafts at getting it right. You started big, and then it's got to be a certain size. You make it that size, you put all your design on it, cool, you upload it, and then YouTube tells you, all right, well, if you want it to all fit in the mobile version, that whatever you need is going to need to be here. Oh, on the desktop version, it's going to be here. Oh, on the TV version, you get all of this. So it's like, oh, well, if most people are going to access this on their phone, now I got to redesign it. All right, cool. Well, how big do I make that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drafts later, boom, I got a YouTube banner that is doing what it needs to do. So that's great. And then you got to have the little watermark that goes in the bottom, size that out. It's why I'm glad I know Photoshop, because these are the types of things that just take the tweaking and the adjusting and little meticulous changes. So did a lot of that. Got those three components, and then it was writing the bios, the links, getting all the type information where it needs to be. And so all that copy went in, and yeah, there's two links. There's a link to Patreon to subscribe and spend money, and there's a link to Terrence Talks Too Much, which is the ability to hire me for speaking and coaching services. Like that's it. So it's, all these platforms exist, but why are you using it, and what is the intention? Some people create content to go on YouTube to make money off of YouTube. I intend to use YouTube as a promotional vehicle. So creating clips, creating the promotional content to lead people to spending on Patreon. We might put up the occasional episode onto YouTube for people to be able to see and experience the whole thing. When we upload off the rip, we're going to upload a few full visual audio components of the show onto YouTube. But the clips, the short videos, the promotional tools, the way YouTube works, the same as a TikTok or an Instagram story, like that's going to be the space to create the content that goes there and then drive that. Because I can't put a full episode on TikTok. I can't put a full episode on Instagram. I can put a full episode on YouTube. And I can create content to promote that full episode on YouTube. So everything stays in-house, in YouTube's house. So that's my strategy. Sure, that will change. If there were other people operating certain things, yeah, this would be TikTok all day. But I'm just not going to play that game, and I'm not going to consume my creative producer business development brain on understanding a YouTube algorithm. Sorry, a TikTok algorithm. I just can't. And understanding the ways in which Black creators are not championed to the same degree and supported and highlighted and favorited. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I'm locked into YouTube and what YouTube has to offer, because YouTube is Google, dog. Like, yeah, which there's a whole ad revenue app, like it's built into it. So that's where I'm at, the YouTube channel, in terms of everything but the video content is there. And even the draft episodes are there. They're just unlisted. But as of right now, you could go to the YouTube channel and boom, the YouTube channel is there, popping, ready, designed, click, phone, everything. It's there. It's there. It's ready. It looks great. So men's is hype. Hype. Very much so. So next on that, it will be Patreon. I'll probably do that as soon as I'm done this and get that in order. And then, work on the tiers. And that's the next phase of what that looks like. So big hype, big excitement. And this shit's coming along, yo. This is the part of the work that, I was having a bit of frustration in the last few days of like being sick. I'm like, there's more to this than just recording. There's more to this than just coming down here and sitting. It's more than to just come down here, sit and edit and take notes. Like there's other parts of this that I wasn't kind of in the flow of, because I was in another particular flow, getting it in order. But now I'm back in that business development side. So that part feels really, really good. So everything's coming together. Yay, I hope you're hyped. Took 19 days, but we here. Yo, what can be done in 30 days at the end of this? That shit's going to be fire to look back and see, man. I'm telling you. Larry June got a song with Alchemist. 60 days, 60 days, days. A lot of things could happen in 60 days. So, commitment, dedication, we get into it. Last but not least, oh, yes. Broncos, freedom, Ford Broncos. Thanks, O.J. Simpson, for forever embedding the Ford Bronco in our brain. This is okay. So this dates, I would say dates back before O.J. Simpson, but not quite. I was a child, and in my child days, I loved driving. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have driven my mother's car in the parking lot with my young sister in the back seat and moved the car from this parking space to the other parking space, all to show her, Mom, look, I can drive. I fell in love with driving because of this place called the Sahara Speedway. And it was simulated NASCAR racing. And they had whole size NASCARs, and you went in first and you watched this 10-minute video, and then boom, you went in and you got into a full size simulated NASCAR. You sat in front of a screen that was maybe 25 by 15 feet high, and you drove a fucking NASCAR in loops, around and around, and the shit moved to, I mean, what I felt like as a 9-10-year-old was like a real car. And I fucking loved it. It was one of those cool things that they have in the casinos so that the adults can gamble and the kids can be entertained. This is one of those things I got to do a lot, actually. And oh man, that driving, cruising USA at the arcade with the Hummer where you hit the gas, boom, boom, and then you do the wheelie and you got the little, yo. We also had this man. I'm giving you all my trauma stories, so yes, you're welcome. I was maybe like 14. No, not that old. 12. Yeah, 10 to 12, somewhere in there. And we had a roommate, and he had a PlayStation, and he had all the driving games. He had all the games, but he had a bunch of driving games, and he had the steering wheel with the pedals, and it was great. Marvin, I don't want to say his last name, but I do remember it. I shouldn't remember this roommate of ours. But yeah, I played the shit out of that game, man. It didn't Need for Speed. Listen, it doesn't matter. But I played them all, and driving, it made my soul feel great. I think it had to do with like the freedom that's attached to just getting in a car and being able to go wherever you wanted to go. I always kind of wanted that. Wanted to just be able to be me and do what I wanted. Go where I wanted to go. Not feel, and it was fun. It was fucking fun. And in the video games, you could unlock all the cars and add all the features and design them and drive them fast and shit. And I wouldn't even play like the like games within the game. Like I would just get the cheat code, print them off, add the codes, unlock all the cars, customize cars, and customize 40 cars and just have them. And just drive whichever one I wanted around the whatever, didn't matter. And it was so happy. So as an adult, driving is fairly essential in life, but also for the sake of enjoyment and happiness. The car that I have now, I bought because I had a food business that was a delivery food business, and I didn't have a vehicle to deliver the food. I ran a food delivery company for 8 months with a bicycle. So at that time, I needed a car, and it didn't matter what it was. So I got a silver 14 Chevrolet Malibu. Prior to that, I had bought an Infiniti G35, and then I upgraded to a G37, and then I bought a Nissan Maxima. This is like 2012. I was just 20 something and liked driving and bought cool shit that I liked. My first car that I bought for myself was an Infiniti G35. So I fucking love driving, and I love driving nice things, and I like having fun driving and enjoying the experience of driving. And when you buy a car, when you start a business and you just need a car, that car is not the most fun car to drive. It does what it needs to do. It was the first car I ever bought that was just, it was for its essential purpose. It was not a tremendous amount of joy attached to it. Now she's got 207,000 kilometers on her, and I need something new. I have a 140-pound dog. I have a 4-year-old child. I am a large person who needs a larger car with an old back, and I want it to be fun, and I want to enjoy driving. When I bought that 75 Chevelle, wasn't my favorite old car. It was a great deal. It's a beautiful car, and it was fun to drive. That's it. I could have a shitty day, and I could just get in it and fucking go. And it was broken for a year. Like, the engine was toast. It was sitting in my driveway for over a year, which sucked. Not being able to drive it for like the second half of last summer. It sat here all winter, and then it wasn't until the middle of this summer that I even found somewhere to fix it. So if driving is something that brings you joy and you can't do it, and the thing that's fun to drive is unavailable to drive, this whole element of self-care and freedom and happiness that you need is gone. And now you're literally just driving to get places. So I spent a while trying to figure out what I wanted to buy. I put a deposit down on such a stupid decision, and I'm so glad the deposit was refundable. 2013 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450, which at the end of the day was like $105. It was stupid. It was nice, and then they couldn't deliver all the parts because of life and manufacturing, so they had to upgrade me to the GL 53, which cost like 15 grand more for the same car with a bunch of extra shit that I didn't need. So I eventually was like, I'm not spending $3,200 a month on a car. So no, thank you. And then I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to buy just like some regular ass random shit. I didn't want to buy something too old. It had to be new enough and act like up to date. Was it going to be electric? Was it like, I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. And then it's probably like 3 or 4 months after saying, all right, I'm not going to get this Benz. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And now it's end of August. If anyone knows East Coast Canadian winters, they're not the greatest. And this car needs work that I'm either going to spend more than I want to fix it now, or I just have to get something new. I do my searching. I'm literally at the fucking post office, and I get out of my car and I see this 2-door Ford Bronco, all black. Like, what in the fuck is that? Incredible. Go home, look it up, love it. They brought the Bronco back in 2021. And it's amazing. At first, I loved the 2-door, saw the 4-door, hated the 4-door. Then the 4-door started to grow on me, especially when you realize the 2-door only has 4 seat belts. So don't plan on having no more kids and driving this car, because that ain't gonna work. It just wasn't big enough. And the 4-door has this, like, it's a convertible. I always wanted a convertible. I never imagined a convertible as a truck, but I love it. And it has these panels, and you know what it is? It's the fact that it's a car that I can change. I mean, duh. I love change. And the fact that there's a fold back on the top, then you could fold it all the way back, then you can fold it and take it off. You can leave it on and take the back panels off. Like, oh, I can make this thing look a bunch of different ways. Doors come off too. It's like a transformer. It's like a big toy. There's something that is exciting and makes me happy about. That part is fun. The customizability. I don't know about that second one. Makes it fun. And to be able to insert and inject that type of fun into driving every day, that part's cool. That part makes me really happy. So, yeah, I paid my $500 deposit to hold it, and there's a sold sign on it now, and I got a week and some to get things situated and go pick it up. So, yeah, I didn't plan on buying a car, and like the time of seeing it, this all happened in like a week. I've known I needed to buy, like, it's been on the importance list. Do I have the money right now? We'll make it work. But I do need it, and business is gonna start ramping up very, very soon. And if anything, putting the pressure on myself to have a thing that is essential, that costs money, that I do need to get going to pay for, does create another bit of urgency and pressure. Not bad pressure though, but yeah, get to this money, because shit costs money and life costs money and things cost money, and we need to upgrade, or we need to just improve or move forward, or not worry about shit we don't need to worry about, like change the circumstance so we can improve life that much more. Like it changes your soul when you get to drive every day and enjoy that experience wherever you're going. I don't care for, I didn't buy my Chevelle for other people. I didn't buy it to be a part of the cool old car club. I bought it because it makes me fucking happy, and the engine sounds like fire and beauty. And it's fun to drive. So there's happiness, there's freedom, there's change, there's growth, there's knowing I wanted this thing and no, not quite. This is the best fit. There's patience. It's been a year and a half of like really doing vehicle homework. So I'm here. I've landed where I want to. It's the color that I want. It's great. I'm happy. I'm happy. And I can't wait to drive this motherfucking thing. Yes! 40 minutes. We're done. That's my change design. That's my YouTube channel. That's my new Ford Bronco. I'm liking this, y'all. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling real good today. I'm feeling real good today. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna go. What did I say I was gonna do? Oh, Patreon. Yeah, I'm gonna go work on a Patreon. Get to that. I hope you enjoy whatever it is you're doing today. I hope you find happiness and joy and peace and love. Hope you find peace and love. I'm Terrence Sailor. This is I Want My Change. I'll talk to you tomorrow. What we got?
My daddy makes out. And his name is Terrence Taylor. And I took those pictures.